mic for me?
Yeah.
What's up, Victor? Are you done? You still got clients today?
No.
Maybe if we put Kyle's handsome face in this video today, we'll get some more views. So this is what we need, is some youth. This is the real right here, bro. You know, this is what goes down. Okay, Keon today. We are Keon creatine right here. Swallow this down real quick. You know what? Do I want to do aminos? Do I have the mango? Is this mango? Where's the flavor on here? Oh, this is mango. Okay, so mango watermelon is what we said was legit, okay?
I've been doing it almost every day now.
Have you? See, it's good, right?
Yeah.
That's the combo. Now, I already had one element tea already, so this will be my second packet for the day. So we are going to do that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do straight mango. Where's our little funnel, bro? It was. Somebody steal our funnel? Who's the funnel stealer? Jerry, cleaning stuff up. Jerry all the time. Did you find it? Just put it away.
Yeah. With all the supplements.
Yeah. Leave it to Jerry to put things away. Well, I was just looking for my funnel. I found it. You put things away so often, you know, make it difficult to find. Actually, I appreciate that. Okay. Mango EAAs. I hit my element tea literally just before I came here, so you guys didn't get to see it, but I already drank one of mine, and I'll probably have one later after my workout. I'm not going to mix it with this now. We'll just do this with this. And I don't think I've done just the mango by itself, so we'll see if I do. Okay. That's pretty good. I got a nasty knot right now that I want to get into a little bit. There's my lacrosse ball. Oh, thank you. So Katrina's been doing some deep work with the hot stones on my chest. And the first session didn't feel like shit. Didn't feel like we didn't do anything. A lot of times it's what it'll feel like too, because there's so much scar tissue. Didn't feel like we got anywhere. But by the second deep stone session, she actually got some to break up a little bit, which was incredible. I felt the relief right away from it. Not full or complete relief, but we've made progress. Since then, we've done like I don't know, three more. So we're like on our fourth session, working that out. And the very first time, it was it was weird feeling. It felt like not quite the size of this, but it was like this ball of scar tissue. And so when she was working with the stone, I can feel it sliding and moving across my chest. It was the grossest, weirdest feeling ever. And it was nasty and big. The second and third time she got into it, I could actually feel it kind of dissipate. And now it's down. You still feel it in there, so there's still some restriction, but we're getting there. Oh. So a lot of times you'll get like knots in areas where the muscle is overactive, and that's due to it not, that shoulder not moving properly. So an area gets overworked or is overactive, and that'll cause it to like knot up or seize up. And the lacrosse ball is kind of like giving myself a deep tissue massage. And really all it does, we used to think that you had, the way we used to explain it as young trainers, that we thought we knew, that there was scar tissue buildup over across the fibers, and you would roll it out and you would break up the scar tissue. The truth is that's not what's going on. All that's really happening that gives you that relief when you foam roll or do the lacrosse ball is more central nervous system. Basically, when it's overactive, it's almost like, think of like something short-circuiting, or like all this like electricity firing to one area more than it's supposed to, and you want it to calm down and evenly distribute everywhere. The pressure, putting the pressure on the knot, what it does is send a signal to the CNS to calm down and relax. And that calm down, relaxing, that overactive area, it was tense, is what gives you that temporary relief. Now I say temporary because it's not fixing the problem. The problem lies in the movement pattern. And it'll keep becoming a problem until I can get that shoulder moving perfect again. So, you know, it's a bit of a Band-Aid. You see me doing, right? Oh, God. But what it'll do now, right now, is I need it to relax, calm down a little bit to allow my shoulder to move freely in the workout. But it's also a sign that there's still a lot of work to be done in that area. Oh, yeah, I felt that release. Oh, yeah, already way better. Oh, yeah, much better. Calm that down. Now that shoulder's moving freely. Nice. Now let's prime it with some W's. Okay. Oh, that didn't sound good. Okay, so this is going to be really different. I feel like that's how this whole thing has been, right? There's nothing else. We're now going to move into a split. I've decided to go from a MAPS 15 protocol of 2 exercises a day type of program to more like a 4-day split routine. Now, I think the split is going to be an upper-lower type of split, even though I don't like traditional upper-lower splits. I like to combine, like I feel like with legs, you know, I hit 2 or 3 big leg movements. I have time to do like a shoulder or an arm workout with it. So I like to do like chest, back, and say shoulders together, and then legs and arms or something as my split. So as we go, I'll figure that out. Today I did yesterday, I came in here and got my legs really good, and they feel great today. I'm gonna do upper body. I'm gonna start with shoulders, and I'm gonna do like 8 to 10 sets of the same exercise. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an incline, not quite at 90 degrees. You've seen me kind of do this slight incline. The thought process behind that is because I'm still nursing the chest, I'm gonna try and find ways to incorporate movements that recruits some of the chest, but it doesn't put so much direct stress on it that I'm worried about re-injuring it. A way to do that is, instead of doing a standing shoulder press, If I do it at just a slight angle, like at a bench sitting down, I can incorporate my upper chest with a lot of the shoulders. And so I'm gonna do like 8 sets of the same, maybe even 10 sets of the same exercise, so I get a little bit of a chest, a little bit of a shoulder. So we're gonna start with dumbbell shoulder presses. Since we're getting like 8 to 10 of these, I'm gonna go light, start off. Start off with like 45s, that's light. Okay, now I can feel my shoulder not tracking well. Shame on me for only doing one of those. So, example of me rushing. I thought after getting that release a little bit of prone cobras and then the W's, my shoulder would be tracking right away. I can feel it in that first set, still not tracking enough or correctly. So I need to get them back. I need to get the shoulder blades back more. We'll do another set of this. I should have done 2 in the first place. Weighed in at 211 this morning. Do another one light just because that one didn't feel like it was tracking well. Much better. Much better. Much better. 2 sets of 45s. Let's go up to 60. So I'll drop down in reps now. So I do want to go heavy. I do want to challenge myself, but I also want to be mindful of there is some chest involvement. So I don't want to get overly zealous and grab a weight beyond what I need to. I just want to wait. That's going to challenge me enough that 5-6 reps, will get difficult. So that's the goal. 8 to 10 sets of this, and 5-6 rep range. So what is cool about doing this, even though I'm doing it for a reason, with the shoulders and chest and stuff like that, so one of my favorite things to do when I'm like switching up programs, I've been doing stuff consistently for a while, like coming in and doing 10 or 12 sets of one exercise, especially if it's a good exercise, right? A good compound lift, whether that's with a barbell or with a dumbbell, and doing 10 sets. GVT training is like that, German volume training is like that. What I like about it is like you have a good 3 sets or so of really just getting in the groove, and then you really exhaust that exercise by the time you get to 10. What's crazy is because very few people train 10 sets of anything ever, you see watch how weak I get after sets 4 and 5. Let's see how this goes. See if I can actually keep this weight all the way through. Okay, I'll hover around 5 or 6 reps. pretty easy. Okay, let's go up. So that was 2 at 45, 1 at 60. So this is set 4. I gotta decide what I'm gonna do besides this today. I hadn't really thought this far. I'm gonna do back. I'm either gonna do bent over rows. Maybe I'll do bent over dumbbell rows. Yeah, I like that idea. I got my back pretty good the last time we did back. Okay. This is 4. Man, I'm still getting 8 of these. Late. I didn't think we'd go that heavy. So I keep doing 8 reps. Because it actually feels pretty easy. Good sign. I'm not going to get more than 70s. I don't care what I feel like. That's more than a jump for sure. But feels good. Shoulders feel strong. So we rescheduled our body fat test. Got it coming Wednesday at 1. So I won't miss that. So obviously, since I don't have any direct chest work, the idea of this is it would be like if we were to do 4 sets of a shoulder exercise, 4 sets of a chest exercise. That's how I'm coming up with 8 to 10 sets of this, right? We're kind of in a little bit steeper than a normal incline bench press, but we're not as far upright as a standard military press, somewhere in the middle. So still a lot of shoulders, but starting to get some upper chest involved. And it feels really good because I can feel it in there, but it doesn't put me in this really compromised, stretched position yet. It's tough, the not working chest brings up old insecurities as a kid. So I used to have one side of my chest was super underdeveloped compared to the other side. So for a long time in my early 20s, like I looked so asymmetrical. And really, if you look back at my bench technique, it was like one side was like rolling forward, the other side was dipped down. So what was happening when I barbell bench press is one shoulder was coming forward, and so the arm, the shoulder, the tricep was taking a lot of the load. The other side had better technique, and so the chest was being engaged. And so no matter how much work I did back then when I didn't know what I was doing, even a little bit of development I had in my chest, one side was uneven compared to the other side. I really had to lighten the load, get into that really good retracted position, and do really deep dumbbell presses and really concentrate on that weaker side, that less dominant side, to dictate how many reps we would do, and then came up. What's cool though about bodybuilding and what I've really enjoyed is that at one point my chest was a major insecurity of mine. At one point my shoulders was a major insecurity of mine. And these are areas that I would consider now, in my 40s, is a strength of mine because of all the energy and effort. That's what's so cool about sculpting the body, what you can do with lifting weights, It's the only form of exercise that you can do that stuff with, where you can look at your body and go, okay, I want more of this, less of that, and you can train and design your program around sculpting that physique that you want. Obviously, there's a genetic factor, like I'll never be 5'11" and short, stocky looking, just like some 5'11" guy will never be a 6'3" lanky guy. But you can definitely create the illusion that I'm stockier or wider by the way you train. Okay, this is number 6. Oh God, we're up to the 70s on this fucker. So light. How light that feels. Still got 8 of those. So if it, I definitely would go up if it wasn't for injury right now. I really want to go to 75s and 80s because I'm repping 8 out and it feels light. And it feels good. You know, I'll just slow the tempo down. So that was 6. This will be the 7th one. These next 2 sets, instead of going heavier, because this is the heaviest I've lifted, so I don't need to go heavier. I'll slow the tempo down. And I'll try and take that last set to failure. It was such a good call to come in here yesterday. Did you go train?
No, I didn't.
Did you prep?
I did not.
And you didn't prep either? Oh my God. Oh God. Well, if we consider ourselves a team, I got our back yesterday. So as a team, we won. Yeah, no, that I got home, went back and had 2 or 3 good clean meals. Prepped for today. Was excited to lift today. My legs feel really good too. Just how you like it. Like I can tell they got trained. They're a little sore, both the hamstrings and the quads, but they're not crippling sore at all. Be ready to get after them again tomorrow or the next day. So now that we're in a split, where what I think I'm going to do is kind of similar to an upper lower, is tomorrow would potentially be a 3rd day in a row. Depending on how I feel, I'll give a day off or not. So now that we'll start to increase volume in the workout, potentially I'm going to have more days where I kind of overreach a little bit, right? So let's say yesterday, if I did a little more like I wanted to, like I would have finished off on some lunges or something, and I was really sore today, then what I would do is tomorrow, take a day off, and then the next day go back to lower body. But I feel pretty good, and I might just roll right into it. And that's kind of how we will structure this 4-day split, is that, if I were to write a program and sell a program, it would have a schedule like, go 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. We would schedule that just so the structure's there. But doing this on my own and on the fly, I will adjust the rest days based off of the training. So you just slow the tempo down a little bit. That made 8 hard. One more.
Oh, my sleep's been crappy. Maybe I can prioritize sleep instead, and then I'm going to take a nap or something.
I mean, there's some truth to that, right? Normally, if my sleep's bad, I'll adjust the intensity in the workout. I'll still work out, but I'll be like mindful of, okay, I got shit rest, especially if I got shit rest multiple days. One day, our bodies are pretty resilient, and our bodies can handle that. But if you've had compounding days of poor rest, that also changes too with how hard you've been pushing, how much personal life stress you have going on, and then how your nutrition is. So in a calorie surplus, not a lot of personal stress, night or two of bad sleep, not as big of a deal. I might push through a little bit. A lot of personal stress going on. Maybe I'm in a calorie deficit and a poor night's sleep or two. Okay, now you have to talk about a different story. So just people have to understand that all of those count as stress. And you've got a stress bucket that once it overfills, the body just think of it this way. Once that bucket is filled up, no longer are all your systems running perfectly, which the systems that burn body fat, the systems that build muscle, you want those all running efficiently. And if you overload the body with stress, it's just trying to survive. It thinks you're not going to get sleep anymore because you didn't. It thinks you're not going to feed it anymore because you're on a calorie deficit. It thinks you might die because of all the stress you have going on at work. So if you have all these things going on, it's going to revolt and it's going to hang on to calories. It's going to hang on to everything because of your overwhelming it. So when you consider sleep, as big as sleep is, it's also important to consider all the other things in conjunction with it, because independently, one night of sleep is not the end of the world. But a poor night of sleep on low calories, on personal stress, and like, let's say you also train the body really hard the time before, and so you're still recovering. So that's a lot of that stuff is what I'm thinking about when I decide, okay, let's back off today, or hey, let's take today off, is I'm factoring in all the different things that my body perceives as stress, and have I been overwhelming it all together? Because if I have, then it does make sense to potentially, oh, today I just need to take off. All right, one more of these. Fucking shoulders feel good right now. Oh. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that felt good. So I want to do a row. You know what? Let's do the asshole bodybuilding row. I'll tell you why I call it that. Yes. Yes. That is exactly why. All my fucking bodybuilder buddies thinks it's okay to do that. Just because you're rowing with the big weight over here, they come over here and rest on them. But since this is my gym, I can fucking do that. But I would never do that inside the gym. I think that's like so tacky. That's funny, you knew what that was. What did we do single rows with last time? I think 75 or 80. Let's see what 80 feels like first. Well, that's frustrating. So the limiting factor for me is my fucking grip right now. That's super frustrating. That weight doesn't even feel heavy on my back. My forearms are losing grip by reps 7, 8. So Doug was spitballing some series ideas on here.
Oh, yeah?
Next year he turns 60. Oh. And so the big shit talking on the podcast forever has been, Sal always brags about what he did with Doug. I said, yeah, imagine if I trained him, how much better he would look. And so Doug's like, why don't we do get me jacked at 60 and you train me instead of Sal? I said, oh, I like that. That would be some fun. That would be fun. So that might be a series we do. I think that would be cool. I'll tell you, as long as this one does well with all the partners, we can get it funded, then I'd love to do some fun projects like that. And Doug would be a fun project. Why Doug would be fun is because I know how much attention to detail that guy plays. So he pays so much attention to everything. That guy's been documenting every workout for as long as I've known him. So he'll follow through, which those are the best clients to train, right? You gotta love training a client that does everything you tell him to. That's half the challenge as a trainer. It's one thing to be knowledgeable, experienced, know the science, have the cues, understand physiology, nutrition, like all that stuff is super important to being a good coach. But then you also have to factor in the psychology piece, the behavioral piece of getting the clients to adhere. It's like baseball. If you're batting 300-400, you're a superstar. So 70% of your people are just not going to follow through. It doesn't matter how good you are. So there's nothing more exciting when you get a client who you know will follow through, because then you get to see like your real skill sets come out. Like for me to actually see all my applied knowledge on somebody else. So I think that would be fun. We'll see at the comments. So you get enough attention, get Doug's attention.
You see the ones that are like, Sal and Justin do one workout video, Adam does whole docu.
Just one up everybody like that. They ain't that serious. Those guys aren't that serious. So rows are interesting, and there's a lot of different opinions on like what does the perfect technique look like. You'll see some guys when they row, they'll roll their pinky out in front of them, and they're getting that real good stretch on the lat, and then they kind of roll it back in when they come in. Excellent. You'll see some people will rotate through and then kind of chainsaw up, which I told you guys before. There's like ones that you can work on rotational strength with the row. So now I'm getting a little bit of that transverse abdominis in there too, of rowing the back there. My rector spinae gets involved with me kind of rotating. Then there's a fixed position where I try and keep everything so it never goes deeper than this. And I'm keeping the shoulders in a retracted position, and I never let the shoulder roll forward. So all of them are valuable techniques on how to train it. Of course, on YouTube, you'll have people that will try and comment, this is the right way, that's wrong. Any exercise that's performed with good form and technique is an exercise and can be used. I mean, what you just saw me do is not technically an incline bench press. It's technically not a military shoulder press. It's somewhere in between, because my desired outcome was to get a little bit of that. So it doesn't matter. You can take this exercise, and depending on what you want to get out of it, you train it accordingly. I think the biggest key though is that, or where people fail at this exercise, is because gravity is pulling us this way, it's going to take the scapula and it's going to round it over. And so if you think that you're just pulling the dumbbell up like this, my lat's not getting engaged. So I have to be able to take the scapula and get it back to get the lat involved. So that's where that lat really gets involved. Then once you understand how to do that, so here, right here, I have my lat flexed. So now I'm keeping my lat flexed as I come forward. So even when I roll the shoulder forward, I'm keeping the lat flex and stretch. So even all the way down here, I've got tension on that lat, and then I rip back up and squeeze again. But what happens is most people are forward, and then they pull up with their arm, and they feel like in their shoulders, they feel in their arm, but they don't feel it in their lats. So that's the part that probably matters the most. More so than all the arguments on YouTube on whose technique is better. We did 2 so far, right? 2 down, 2 more to go. You know, that's the other thing about working the back or working any muscle group for that. All resistance training is flexion of the muscle with some sort of resistance. Weight, body weight, bands, cables. It's just flexing that muscle with some sort of resistance. And so the prerequisites of being able to sculpt and train a body is the ability first to be able to flex every muscle independently. So learning how to flex the lats with no resistance is already a skill in itself that most people would greatly benefit from learning how to do it. Because if you can flex your lats with no resistance, so I can activate my lats right now and completely flex them, I can take that and apply it at any angle, upside down, standing up, one leg, balancing, pulling from down to up to down, and thinking about engaging the lats. But you first have to be able to do that. Obviously, it's really easy with like a bicep or a tricep, everybody knows how to flex that, but muscles like the chest, the lats, the rear delt, the front delt, like people have a hard time connecting to all those muscles. Learning to do that is so valuable, because then if you know what muscle group you're trying to work, you could go into a brand new exercise or a brand new machine that you've never done before. And because you understand how to flex that muscle, you just get in there, you grab a hold of the handles, the dumbbell, the weight, the barbell, and you move and you flex that muscle. Yeah, want to go. See our boy Phil Heath paying attention to the progress now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can see him on the Instagram. Yeah, the steroid clip that Josh made. I know that he's came out openly and talked about that stuff. A couple of years ago, he came out and talked about his insecurities around body, which I mean, we've been talking about for a long time and sharing, and we've been sharing that stuff. I think anybody that does that it's just whether or not you're aware of it or not. Some people are still in denial, but anything that drives us to push our physiques to that level is definitely rooted in insecurity. All of us. And then of course, once I got in that space and I saw how that worked too, like, you know, we train all year to peak for 1 week. And that 1 week, all the magazine, all the supplement companies, that's shot all during that time. So you have this body that has been trained and dieted for 3 to 6 months to look this way, and it's for this small moment of time that it's like that, and then you go do all these photo shoots that drip all year round. But it's also why some of these guys are so broken still, because it's like actors and actresses that get famous because the way they look, and then they do all that plastic surgery when they get older and liposuction because everybody knows them as that young, hot actor or actresses. And of course, Father Time is undefeated, and as they age and don't look the same anymore, they're so hung up in what all those magazine photos and pictures of them look like. They want to look like that so bad that they're willing to do all these crazy surgeries. I mean, I think the bodybuilding community can get like that, where you get recognized for looking a certain way, and heaven forbid, you walk around at 15 or 16% body fat, and then people are like, what happened to you? Oh, I got healthy and I'm normal. That's what happened. Oh God, well, yeah, saline injection stuff is way worse. You're shooting some fake ass oil into your system. I mean, we know enough about testosterone that used safely and appropriately, it's harmless. Obviously, a lot of people abuse it, but it's less risky than shooting some foreign oil into your body. I never understood that, because that shit don't even look good. Oh yeah, dude. Right when you do it and it still looks horrible, that's body dysmorphia. So that's no different than the anorexic girl who thinks she's fat, right? The girl, as you can see her rib cage and she thinks she's fat. That's the same thing as the meathead guy who is injecting oils into his arm, and they're this big and he thinks he has little arms. You know, it's like just body dysmorphia. And there's all levels of it. You know, after talking about flexing, like, that's what I'm thinking about the whole time, right? When I'm lifting that weight, is as I'm stretching the lat, I'm thinking like, I want the lat to never let go of it, right? Because I could relax the lat, and then the arm and the shoulder takes over the resistance. Whereas if I think about the lat holding the weight, even all the way stretched out here, I got that lat engaged, and then from that stretch position, all I'm thinking is flex, flex, and then resist with the lat as it comes down. This is an example of, remember on one of the first days, I told you how Arnold said that he could come in and do one exercise and it'd be more effective than someone's entire workout. If you figure I just did 10 reps on each side for 4 sets, and the entire time that I'm holding on to that weight, my lats are getting worked, and worked at a really high level, compared to that same exercise where maybe you flex your lat a little bit right here because you can kind of feel it, and then you relax, and then you flex a little bit and you relax. The amount of time under tension that my lat is getting in that same load and work is significantly higher than the person that performs that exact same exercise but doesn't execute it the right way. This is why quality of reps. Quality matters over quantity. Let's superset some arms. I'm gonna do, let's do dumbbell skull crushers and dumbbell curls right here. Just for kind of time reason. So I'm gonna do skull crushers and then bicep curls, or bicep curls and then go into skull crushers. We'll do 4 sets. We will superset them together, so no rest between. Yeah, it's for a time saver. These aren't big movements, they're isolation exercises. I already got some tricep and bicep work a little bit already from the rows and from the presses, so my arms have already got a little bit of work. These are just gonna kind of finish them off. I think I'll do 10 and 10. We'll see how that feels. We'll see how fatigued my arms already are. Sweat around my eyes. I have Dr. Lauren coming on the call today. Well, when we originally heard Sal was going to take off, Justin's not going to be here, so then I thought it was just going to be you and I running the group. So I reached out to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, for sure. I've been waiting for you guys." So I sent her the link. So I'm basically going to introduce her and then let her answer some questions. See if the team or the group gets some value out of that. Tough Niner loss yesterday. I saw, so I said, yeah. You guys missed CMC bad, bro. He is a bit of an X factor, though. You want to fill my abs, Jerry? She's like, not yet. You're not at that level yet. We've gotten a little bit, not as many comments as I thought we would, of the minimalist approach to the exercises right now. Like I really want people to understand that, you don't see me doing stuff like traps and forearms, and you don't see calves, even though I do some calf stuff at home or over at the other gym. But, most of the exercises that I choose incorporate a lot of that stuff. Like, you're not going to do no heavy deadlifts, upright rows we've done, and not get trap involvement. Even like when I do real deep squatting, my calves can get sore when I deep squat heavy weight, because they get in that stretch position as the knees travel forward and you're really deep. To get out of that, you even get some calf work out of there. So just right now where we're at, doing a lot of those little things. I think the reason why I think it's important to bring it up is because in my early 20s, this was the mistake I made, was the stuff that I was like, I was doing forearm exercise stuff and doing shrugs like crazy and calf exercise, like a lot of these like little isolation exercises. And I was skipping out on deadlifting and squatting, overhead pressing, these big gross motor movements that not only would hit all those little things, but also would build and pack on the most muscle in my body. So even if you're not trying to bodybuild and you're just trying to get in shape, the biggest bang for your buck, no matter what, burning body fat, building muscle, sculpting the physique, is gonna be in these big movements that give you the most return. And wasting crucial minutes in your workout doing these little bullshit exercises is just killer. There's too many good gross, big gross motor movements to not miss out on. And so the idea of kind of the programming of what you guys see right now is a lot of just me choosing the big bang for your buck movements. Now, I say that as I'm sitting here doing isolation bicep curls and skull crushers. I get it. That's also why we're supersetting it, we're in and out. But we really could probably, and maybe in the future when I feel a little bit better, I might even just skip these because my arms will come up pretty quick because of all the work I put into them. Hey Doug, any word from the podium? Like this week? Okay. Right when I leave, I'm gonna be so. You leave too, huh? Yeah. Dylan's gonna get it all to himself.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so sometimes it's gonna shift, so I don't know when it's gonna arrive. Maybe I'll have to have the white gloves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hopefully they give us a heads up so we can coordinate that, right?
Going to, absolutely.
Okay, good. I was gonna say I want to be available for that if I can, if I'm here. I'm excited. Doug and I are gonna become professional race car drivers, in case you guys were wondering. In case this mind pump thing doesn't work out. Ooh. Ooh. Our right side gave out first. That's weird. It's first time I felt that on the right side. Normally my left side, which has got all the issues right now, has been fatiguing first. I actually felt that fatigue on the right side for the first time. That's interesting. That was our 3, right? One more. Oh yeah, buddy.
Flexing and then the movements that move the needle the most. So at what point do you flex in between sets to kind of help?
So if I was, so you see bodybuilders do that a lot, but a lot of times that's posing, right? That's like practicing your poses. That can be beneficial to somebody who does if you don't know how to flex a muscle, practicing flexing between sets, I think has some value. I think the research and the science on it to support its benefits for gains is minimal and debatable. I could make the case that the science that they support that supports that is because somebody who doesn't connect well to a muscle is flexing it between sets, is working on a better connection. Therefore, when they go and do their sets, they're getting more out of it. Is it necessarily that the flexing is getting more growth? Well, no, I don't think it's that. I think the practicing flexing those muscles is getting them better connected to that muscle so that when they go in and perform the movement, they get more out of it. You won't see me really do that. Not right now, not anymore. But I would always be flexing between stuff when I was competing because I have to present my physique, right? And it sounds real basic, but knowing how to hold your body just right so it looks perfectly balanced and you're not like this. My very first show, I didn't practice a lot and came in with the best physique by far, but I didn't take first place because when I turned around and did my back pose, and your back pose should look kind of like this, mine looked like this. I squeezed my shoulder blades together, which is like how you do a row, and it just made my back look shrinked in versus taking someone and going, the difference in the size of your pose. So learning how to do stuff like that had value there, but I don't think it does much for training purposes. So I'm gonna do this skull crusher one arm at a time, just because I thought that was so interesting that side failed. So since I felt my right side fail, I'm gonna do one arm at a time, and I'm gonna start with this side. Just wanna see what that feels like. Thought that was interesting that happened. And whatever, since this was the weaker one, I wanna get 10, but whatever this does with good form, I'll do on the left side. So we'll let the weaker side dictate. I'll do this sometimes too in a workout where I'm doing bilaterally, right? Or both arms, both limbs, both legs at the same time. If I notice a discrepancy like that in the right or left, that is just odd, like that was odd for me, I might drop both and I'll go to a one arm or a one leg thing and let the one that's weaker lead and then go the other one. So I'll interrupt a exercise that I was gonna do one way, switch it over just because all of a sudden I noticed something like that. And this is what it'll look like. Right there at 7. So this will probably be easy, but we'll end it right at 7. So we totally could have done more, right? But because that right side I could tell was weaker, I want to make sure I keep them even. All right, big dog. You know what? Let's real light cables again on my chest. Just real light. And then we'll call it. How are we doing on time right now?
33.
Okay. That's about it. It's perfect. 4. So I'm just going to do 2 sets. I'm going to go real light. More kind of an isometric contraction. Oh yeah, super good. One more of those. So, I don't know if I brought it up on here. I know I have on my Instagram. I have my band set up in my house, in my bathroom. And so I'm doing really light band work with the orange and red band, which is really light and easy. Real similar to this right here. Same setup. Bands are coming down. More of a squeeze, hold, squeeze. Just trying to send a little bit of a signal to the chest. Don't want to risk loading and pulling and tearing anything right now. But and all we're really trying to do right now, like I'm not going to get no big chest gains out of this. It's can I mitigate the atrophy as much as possible. So I'll do it frequently. Every day, every other day if I can, because I'm not tearing and breaking down. I'm not pushing my chest. I'm just kind of sending a little light signal. Sometimes too, I'll get down, I'll do some body weight push-ups. I'm doing that right now. Just throughout the day. And hopefully you'll see, like when I give you guys an update on the physique, like, I mean, I can tell difference because it's my body and I know what my chest looks like when it's really developed, but it's all right. It's not horrible. You know, it's still better than Sal's chest on his best day, so, you know. That's just because I know he doesn't watch this, that fucker. I asked him today, we're talking about the business. I said, hey, how many of my videos have you watched? Because I'm trying to explain to him how I want to create the next program. Just what you've told me. I said, oh, you haven't watched a single one, huh? That guy. So I'm gonna start talking shit about them on here since they're not paying attention. Here we go, last one. Oh yeah, beautiful. It's a wrap, big dog. Another one in the books.